businesses go kind of anywhere in the area.
So what about on the streets?
We do some. It kind of depends on the jurisdiction. So if it's the city of Sacramento, they do most of their own street trees, but other cities might work with us to plant trees.
Yeah, so the ways they're promoting the business is through already the people that you have contact with? Was that the only way, or is there?
So there's multiple, that's a really good question. And there's multiple ways to promote the business. Certainly with the Tree Foundation and its Sacramento Shade business, there'd be a direct link to about 5,000 to 6,000 customers a year potentially. There's sort of the door-to-door flyers. Most of the people that are doing the garden service actually kind of just go through your neighborhood. You probably get those on your doorsteps and they just fly. And around tree planting care, you don't really see people, there's no real specific young tree planting and care business out there right now. Again, it's all around gardening and landscape maintenance. So this is really sort of a real niche. But for landscape maintenance and sort of mature tree care services, then it's either for some of the higher end stuff, it's web-based. They're part of professional associations, so people look them up that way, word of mouth. And then from some of the sort of mom and pop shops out of the back of your truck, it's sort of the flyers, kind of go door to door, that type of thing.
What about, is there potential for partnering with nurseries who are selling some of the trees?
Yeah, they're absolutely. You could always partner with a nursery to get your information out. If you were, say, for instance, if you went to a nursery, if you went to a retail nursery and you said, hey, can you give us a discount on your trees? We're going to go out and promote our services. I'm just making, kind of thinking of this out loud right now. We're going to go out and plant trees, and we're going to sell exclusively your trees, or we're going to pull trees from your lot. Then you give us a discount, and we'll tell our customers that you're getting trees from your nursery, so they get a little bit of advertising as well. That actually sounds like a good partnership as well. Other questions?
So if we partnered with the Sacramento Shade project, that's primarily just like in Sacramento County?
That Sacramento, so the cool, sort of the unique opportunity around the SMUD program and the Sacramento Tree Foundation is the fact that all these trees, you can get the trees for free. So save the client a lot of money at the end. You can come in pretty low in your services and still have a nice margin for profit. But that is only in Sacramento County because that's SMUD service territory.
Right.
And so those are that's the only place the Sacramento Tree Foundation has trees for free.
Do you know if there's any other businesses like this in other locations?
There are plenty of nonprofit tree organizations across the country. I don't know. I know there are plenty of volunteer planting groups that go out and do this. Are there groups that go out and plant in conjunction with these nonprofit tree organizations? I'm not aware of. The SMUD partnership is really unique in the country. Now not the Tree Foundation. Tree Foundations are they're all over the place, but the SMUD partnership, where we do 16,000 trees a year, there's no other program like that in the country. SMUD really has a very unique and very beneficial to our community program with the Sacramento Tree Foundation to provide these trees for free to the community. So there are other free tree distribution programs, but they pale in quantities to the what we have here in Sacramento County.
So you're saying maybe we have a unique situation, a unique need.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
How much volunteer work is there? Like, is it easy to, if you have a tree that you get from SMUD, is it easy to get a volunteer organization to come out and plant your tree, or?
No. So just around the Shade Tree program, we struggle getting volunteers to actually come out. It's challenging volunteer work because what it entails is you as an individual going out to somebody's home and without sort of a volunteer leader, because we'll have 50 to 100 trees that need to get planted at a time, and again, these are people that absolutely, as a last resort, cannot plant their tree. They're like, okay, put us on the waiting list. They have to wait 3 months. We get a volunteer. We get volunteers as a group to come out and volunteer with us. They may cancel. We have to change dates a lot. But as soon as people hang on, they still want their tree that badly. They can't find any other resources to do it. And then the volunteers have to go out on their own, put all the tools in their car, go out and plant the tree, and then come back to Tree Foundation. And they've got half an hour training how to do it beforehand. it's tough. It's not easy. And the other thing that, you know, keep in mind too, is not just the people that need volunteers to plant their trees. If there was a reasonably priced service, then more people actually might be interested in having their trees planted for them, even if they, you know, they could go out and plant the tree for them, but hey, this is the right price, I might as well call these people to come over and help us plant the tree.
So for young tree planting and care, what would be the biggest challenge perhaps for that business idea?
Well, I think some of the challenges, there are probably multiple challenges. Number one is the SMUD program, for instance, is over a large service territory, so you have to kind of define, hey, Sacramento County is 1,000 square miles, and as you start to have to spend a lot of time driving out to some further areas and paying for that gas and your time, you know, you'll have to think about adjusting to your price or maybe limiting it to geographic area. So that's something to think about. Other challenges, you know, certainly if you are an independent organization and you want to plant your own trees and you're buying your own trees, there's a lot more flexibility in that scenario. So working with the Tree Foundation, I mean, we're a great organization, and I'm not trying to, undercut my presentation, but you'll have to coordinate with an organization that has rules and regulations around our nonprofit activities, and so that'll be something to be aware of. You have to kind of coordinate with a partner.
Great, thank you. Yeah.
What type of people will want to buy this service?
You know, for the most part, it's property owners, homeowners. So typically homeowners, you know, somewhere in their late 20s to onward, I guess. I don't really know the demographics on that. Just kind of guessing, but it's pretty wide distribution. And it's not just affluent that can afford these services. It's really, we run in, when we're out in the field, the whole, everybody, you know, everybody from somebody living in a tiny house and, you know, like on my street in South Sacramento, all the way to the people who live in Folsom and have 40 acres to plant trees on. So it's a pretty wide spectrum. Questions? Your arm's getting tired.
Any last questions for Jacob? Imagining ourselves potentially doing this work, young tree planting. Any other things you might want to ask?
What's the competition between, let's say, is there a lot of that many volunteer groups in this area that would do it?
So again, that's another really good question. And for homeowners, we have a tough time with those volunteers. And around just tree planting and care, the cool opportunity, again, you can think about this in two ways. So you can go out and just sell the services to people that aren't participating through our program, and if you have an opportunity to provide free trees to them, you're giving them a great deal. So like, hey, I can go out with anybody else and I'll spend like, $100, $150 to get a tree and pay for labor to plant it, but if I work with you guys, then I can get the whole thing done for 50, 60, whatever, it is that you just decide makes it cost effective. But for the shade tree program alone, no. I mean, we just can't man that many volunteers, man or woman that many volunteers to get them out in the field to provide the services that they really, to meet the demand. There comes my 2-year-old.
Awesome.
That's a good question. Any other questions?
Okay, so let's give Jacob a round of applause.